Hey, what is up, guys? It's your boy Eve. I'm not gonna take too much of your time. I'm gonna jump right into this video. I got this really good message that I hope will you guys can relate to. It related to me, so I think it might relate to you as well. It's by Jordan Peterson, The Secret of Becoming Unstoppable. Um, Before we jump into the video, though, please go ahead, like, share, and subscribe if you like what you get from this video. So first of all, the point of this video really is kind of to help us stop and think about everything that we do in our day, help us analyze and direct us in the right way that we want to go. I'm not going to take too much time again. We're going to go right into it. So this is what he said.
If you could give one advice to us how we could be able to actually put our opinion out there and to actually make people listen and not to cause some mindless conflict with just yelling.
Ooh, that's a good question, right? Because I think this guy asked, if you could give us one advice, how can we put our opinion out there without upsetting people? That's basically what he's trying to say. Before I started this channel, that was my biggest fear, right? To say things that people will take as offensive, or to say something that will get people mad. But I think along the way, I kind of told myself that if I put myself out there, then what's there to lose, right? If you say something wrong, people will tell you if it's wrong. If you say something right, people will accept it, and then it will grow your opinion even bigger.
What advice would you give us?
Learn to write. I'm dead serious. Like, I'm dead serious about that. Because writing is formalized thinking. And so the way you write is, first of all, you need a problem. Because why write if you don't have a problem? So this is good advice if you're just writing an essay, by the way, for your classes. It's like, pick a bloody problem that you want to write about, because otherwise it's false right from the start. It's up to you to engage with the material until you find something that grips you, that you desire to investigate. Okay, so you need a problem. Well, the next thing you need to do is, well, you need to have something to say about it.
Learn how to write. That's the first answer that he gave. Why is that so important? I think I like that answer because writing is essentially bringing out your thoughts, right? You agree, right? Let me know if you agree. Writing is essentially bringing out your thoughts onto the outside of your mind, and then to essentially evaluate and question your thoughts. That's what writing is essentially, because when you write it out, like you said, it's formalized thinking. That means you have to form that phrase, you have to form that opinion and bring it out. Now when you bring it out, you're able to look at it and question to see if that's right or wrong, if you're living in your own world or if that is reality. Like, have you ever noticed if you have an argument, like if you have an argument, if you're supposed to confront someone, if you take the time to write out the problem, if you take the time to write out the issue, what you're thinking, how you feel, when you do get in front of that person, you have a better time, you have an easier time to express yourself, because you already did the work, you already wrote out what you thought was the problem, right? Assuming you have high integrity, you're not lying to yourself, of course, right? I like that a lot.
You need a problem. Well, the next thing you need to do is, well, you need to have something to say about the problem. Well, so reading is really good for that. Read as much as you can.
I don't like reading. I'm not gonna lie, I don't like reading. There's lots of books that I started that are half read somewhere. But that's really good. Reading, yeah.
Your hands-on that addresses the problem.
So does that mean you have to read? Yep. Well, of course. That means you have to read things that you're interested about. Things that because I think what he's trying to say here is that reading will like the opposite of writing. It brings stuff out, right? Reading will bring stuff in. That means it will give you a better idea of how to formulate these ideas. Reading is essentially taking from the masterminds of the world and taking their experience and bringing it in here. So that's very powerful. So writing and reading, that's two things that we should do if you wanna be able to put our opinions out there and not upset people. Because why do that if you're not really informed on the subject, right? You have to have some type of understanding of what you're talking about. So that's very important. Yeah?
Okay, so now you know a bunch of things, or at least provisionally know them. You at least have access to them. Well, now you start sorting through it. It's like, okay, well, maybe I need to summarize what I've learned, and then I need to iron out the contradictions between what I've learned, and I need to elegantly formulate that, and I need to get my word choice right, and my phrase choice right, and my sentence choice right, and I need to organize the sentences into proper paragraphs, and the paragraphs into proper sequence, so that I have a coherent argument. And at the same time, what you're doing is you're integrating your own personality at the highest and most abstract level of organization, and you're sharpening your tools, and you're putting yourself straight, because you're learning to think. You learn to do that by writing. And so I would say, pick some hard problems and learn to write very, very carefully. And when I say pay attention to the word, I mean that.
Oh man, that has been my biggest fear with starting this channel. First, to not offend people, and two, the goal is to better articulate my thoughts. So I want to be able to express what I'm thinking without stuttering. You know what I mean? Like, just bring it out without stuttering. But while doing that, you have to bring stuff out that makes sense, that are right, or at least in the right direction. So that's been the goal for me, anyways, for starting this channel. I want to be able to express myself better, articulate my words a lot better. And that really hit home, because I mean, before this video anyways, I was not writing. I was reading and listening to videos, but I wasn't reading like books. I was reading like short essays, or like, you know, quotes or whatever. And that just really hit home. Because sometimes we have thoughts, we have opinions that we keep in our heads, right? And you're living in your own world. You don't know if that opinion is right or wrong, right? So when you bring it out, now you can question it. Now you can get from other people. Now people can tell you if that's wrong or right. And you can get other people's opinion too, right? Your opinion is not for yourself. Don't be selfish. Share that. I'm not going to go too much in this video. I think it's been long enough. I'm going to share the link. I'll put the link down below. You can go ahead and watch the whole video. I skipped the video until I got to the question that I thought was very important. But I'm going to share it, and so go ahead and watch that video. I got a good message from it, and I hope you did too. And if there's anything we should get from this, is to, before we speak, we need to think. Before we speak, we need to think. I know it sounds very obvious, and you're probably thinking, what the hell, what are you saying? But before we speak, we need to think. And writing it out and reading is two things that I think are very important. Wait, did he have more stuff?
Pick the right words, organize them into the right phrases, get your sentences straight. Like when I wrote my first book, Maps of Meaning, I believe I wrote every sentence in that book 50 times. 50 variants of every sentence. I'd read it once, I'd read it again, I'd read it again, I'd read it again, and I'd have a little competition. Which sentence is better? Which sentence is better? I'd pick that sentence. Do the same with the paragraphs. Over many, many years, you hone your words. They're the most powerful thing about you, bar none. If you are an effective writer and speaker and communicator, you have all the authority and competence that there is.
if you can bring your opinion out there, if you can write it out and live by it and have high integrity with your opinion, it makes you very powerful, not compared to other people, but in your own world. So that means you're walking in your own, you're walking in your, with confidence, because you understand your opinion, you understand your thoughts. Oh man, that's very powerful. That's crazy. I like that a lot because I've had a big problem with how to express myself. But I've noticed that when I do write stuff out, it gets clearer in my head. It becomes clearer. And I find also that when I do that, it helps me live in reality and not in my own head, right? Because you get so caught up in your own thoughts, right? You get so caught up in your own thoughts that you start to believe that that's the real world, that that's the truth, because you're in your own head. But as soon as you bring it out and you can actually read it out loud on paper, then it becomes something that you have to evaluate, that you have to question. Then now you start telling yourself if it's true or if it's false. And that's powerful. That's very powerful. Don't be surprised if you see me writing a book in the near future, because I got a lot of stuff in here that I want to bring out, man. That's nice, man. So I'm gonna leave the link to this video, but that's essentially what I kind of wanted to talk about. Like the guy asked, what is the way for us to speak our opinion out there without upsetting people, really? And Jordan Peterson said to write it out, right, and to read, because those two combined, writing it out brings it out, and reading helps you formulate a better opinion that you can evaluate, right? This is just as powerful, man. I'm very excited for this, and I'm gonna meditate some more on it, and that's probably something I'm gonna apply to my life. I hope you got something from it. Until next time, take care of yourself.